It's nice to see that the Hallmark Channel finally got one of their movies into theaters. This is Deck the Halls on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No one! Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about Christmas movies. It's Christmas, yay! Jingle, motherfuckers.
The Hallmark Channel just called and told you to go fuck yourself.
Copyright infringement
They're
lawsuit.
like, we wouldn't ever be involved with something as big a piece of shit as that movie.
We will find that out later because Jackie's got a couple Hallmark Channel movies to review.
Oh, good.
We've got a huge show, so we are going to move very rapidly. Hello, Jackson. How's happy Christmas to you?
Happy Christmas.
This is your pick. First, starting with Batman Returns from Sam. Second week in a row of Danny DeVito. How about that?
Yeah, that is kind of weird that happened.
Yeah, lined up that way.
But, I love Christmas lights, and this movie revolves around Christmas lights.
Maybe. We'll find out what the whole idiom of this film is once we discuss whether it's got the true spirit of Christmas or not. Sam, what have you discovered about the 2006 film Deck the Halls starring Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito streaming on for rent only? We paid $4
$4? Jesus.
Through Vudu. So
yeah, because, was it 2BTV?
Yeah.
Had a lie. They had a different Deck the Halls movie with Larry Miller that's like an action movie, right? What the fuck is it? No, I was reading the description when thought we were getting this for free, and it's like these two ladies, or one of them's a detective and the other one's a aspiring detective or something, and they have to go through an action-packed adventure to save Larry Miller on Christmas.
It seems like they actually had the right Deck the Halls, Sam, and we had the wrong one.
That's about halfway through this one. I was like, I wonder what that Larry Miller Deck the Halls is like.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh,
What do you?
this is awful.
I thought this was.
I cried at the end
What?
Oh my God.
You did not.
when they started singing Oh Holy Night.
This was an affront to comedy.
Yes, it was.
It's like it declared war on comedy.
Sam, give us your boring bullshit.
It has a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
which is not good.
It's pretty low.
The guy that directed this, John Whitesale, also brought us such screen gems as Big Mama's House 2 and 3.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with those completely.
I haven't seen the first one.
Old
I
Martin
believe
Lawrence. Martin Lawrence, is that
dressed
right?
as a fat lady. Is
Yeah.
that what that is?
Yeah.
Did you see the first one?
No, because
No.
here's the thing. I'm a white guy. I don't think Martin Lawrence is funny. That's it.
I don't think you have to be any race to find Martin Lawrence not funny.
Apparently that is incorrect, Sam, because I've heard from the Key and Peele that there's two types of people, and both of them, neither of them like, wait, what am I trying to say? That one of them likes Martin Lawrence a lot.
I used to watch
I mean,
the show,
Medea,
Martin.
Tyler Perry, every year, the fucking Medea shit sells like hotcakes.
I know a lot of white people that think those are hilarious.
I don't know one.
I've never seen a Medea anything.
I guess it's mostly because I don't know any people, so yeah. Okay, all
You
right.
ask your dog.
Yeah.
Winston, is this good? And he's like, I'm going to eat your face. Yeah. I guess tensions were really high on this picture.
Yeah.
I wasn't
A lot
able
of
to...
emotion involved, you know,
Well-
passion, you might say. People are feeling, they want to put their heart into this film, Sam.
I think what happens is that about day 3, you realize you've been stuck with a turd. And
And by turd, you mean Matthew Broderick, right?
no,
Oh.
the movie itself.
Okay.
I guess he stuck around and was apparently pacing about talking to himself the whole time in between scenes, but he actually stayed. Whereas DeVito would just leave when he wasn't required.
He'd just like he'd fuck right off.
He'd fuck right off, and if it was like for the weekend, he would just fly home.
Oh,
and
so
then
he
come
didn't
back.
even like go to his trailer and throw like a temper tantrum.
No, he
would
was
just
like,
go home.
I will turn on the DeVito magic when the camera's rolling, and I will be gone when it is not rolling.
I've got shit to do at home, guys.
Yeah.
Those cookies aren't going to bake themselves.
And
You know, I'm just going to say that I think Matthew Broderick, I'm pretty sure that this is the way he is in real life. Like an uptight.
He seems, you only get so much on these shows.
Right.
He seems like a pretty jolly, friendly fellow when he's on the talk shows.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's on talk shows?
Whenever he's on Conan, he seems very agreeable.
He's on Conan?
I saw him on Conan like 8 years ago.
Like in 1985, right after Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
They did Conan when Conan was writing for The Simpsons.
Right.
At that point or something.
Before The Simpsons.
It
Anyways,
would have been before, yeah.
I've never seen him on a talk show. I'm not a big Matthew Broderick fan, but
He seems fine. But I guess there was a real, there was supposed to be a steamier scene between him and, Kristen Davis?
His wife, the character.
Character who plays his wife.
Right.
And we, of course, know that around this time, the hottest show on TV was Sex and the City.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's his wife, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And so, fortunately, they all thought it would be too steamy for PG.
Okay.
So it got axed, and no one had to worry about making out with your wife's best friend or somebody she works with or whatever.
Oh, because Kristen Davis was on Sex and the City.
Yeah, she's on Sex and the City.
It's not really my bag, so.
She
Pretty much plays the same character in Sex and the City as she did in this movie.
Okay.
The very conventional, non-risque kind of gal.
She's a Samantha.
No, Samantha was the slut that
that
did
was-
everything and anything under the sun, honey.
I heard somebody say that one time, so I figured it was worth repeating.
That's what's her face from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Kim Cattrall?
Kim Cattrall, yeah.
Yeah. That's what she's from, Sam. Not Charlie's Angels.
She's from Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
She's from Sex and the City, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that, so I just, the classics.
Wait, she wasn't in Charlie's Angels. That's
No.
Farrah Fawcett. She's from such fine films as Mannequin.
Yeah, she's in that, too. That's what I'm telling you. Up until Sex and the City, she was from Big Trouble in Little China. That was a big deal. For me, anyway. Yeah. So, this thing tanked, obviously. Only made 35 domestically against a $51 million budget, which I guess is going to be salaries.
And
I'm not
and
really-
practical effects.
Yeah, I'm not really that surprised because Christmas lights are fucking expensive.
And these were all incandescents. Like the power that they had to this is essentially this house is essentially like a fucking it's beyond a Metallica show.
Sure.
It's like a U2 concert.
Actually,
that you have.
Even the ones that were supposed to be incandescent were fake. They were LEDs. They just couldn't get enough power.
In 2006, we had LEDs.
Yeah.
What?
So, that was the problem is that they didn't have. There wouldn't have been a way to power it.
No, you would need a nuclear power plant.
I guess that was one of the only interesting things when I was reading about this is that the electrical department had calculated that they would have needed 100,000 watts to do it with conventional lighting. Had they not had access to LED, we would have seen some very bad visual effects.
Yes.
We did see some very bad visual
We did.
effects
There was
in the movie, but
one real bad one.
Yeah, but the Christmas things would have been fake without LED technology.
All right.
Too much power.
All right.
So to back up a little bit,
Sure.
did Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, did they get along?
I can't imagine.
Or did Danny DeVito just or was it just like the turd aspect, which is why he was just like, no, I'm going home.
I'm just going home.
Your soul has been broken from working on this project. I need to go see my family for a while.
Yeah, and when I'm watching it, I'm thinking there's no way anybody signed on to it if this was actually the script.
Right.
So I feel like it just got to the point where they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that, and it just kept happening, and then they just started making it up as they went along.
Writing it on that day, like a TV show, like a soap opera. Like, oh, here's your new script. Your character's been murdered. What? Okay, fine.
Yeah, like what is going on here?
Right.
And I guess Broderick was right. He came right off the producers. He was fresh off the producers when he was on this.
Right,
so he's
right.
like, I'm hot right now. This thing pretty much killed him. He is now doing movies again because of his very small part in Manchester by the Sea. When
It's
I was
a
looking at
very small part in Manchester.
he's very good though.
Yeah, he's extreme. Like that movie's just fantastic. But yeah, like when you go to see Manchester by the Sea, Matthew Broderick's not really what was being discussed before that. It was these incredible performances by Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams, and what an incredible story it is.
Sure. Kyle Chandler was very good too.
And then, hey, look at that! It's Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Son of a bitch. He's like Matt Damon in fucking stupid space movie that I hate so much. Like, Matt Damon's in this? Huh.
Except for it doesn't become a horror movie for a little bit.
Right.
When he shows up, like the Matt Damon thing.
It could have, though. I mean, his character's pretty nutty in that film.
Could have been.
He's like a Buffalo Bob
Yeah.
guy.
He would, I did, and actually I think I saw him when I was talking about seeing him on Conan. It was around this time. They might have been talking about this because he was saying that he had basically needed to fall back on Broadway for a while. Like he had done a lot of theater.
Yeah.
And of course, being the youngest recipient of the Tony.
Oh, hey, how about
Yeah.
that? Huh?
Yeah, how about that?
How old was he when he got that?
Young.
72.
Yeah.
72. Wow.
I'm going to guess 16.
It's his career arc is an unusual one because basically he goes from the coolest guy that's ever lived.
Yes.
Ferris Bueller is the coolest guy that has ever lived. And then every subsequent role he's ever had from there on out is a dweeb. Like he's a dweeb constantly. How do you go from the coolest guy ever to playing dweeb roles? Like, for instance, Deck the Halls. For instance, even Manchester by the Sea, his character's very, like, uppity and dweeby. Like, he would get his, in high school, get lots of swirlies and stuff like that. I'm thinking even Election, which is a fantastic movie. He's a total dork. Like, why do you look at Ferris Bueller and go, you know what, let's put him in a dork role?
Well, I think the Ferris Bueller thing, because that's actually, I didn't realize that Lady Hawk was before that until I was doing some reading. So he had done War Games was before that as well. So he'd done some movies before that. And in Ferris Bueller's in high school, so it works. That was his sweet spot. That was when he was in his mid-20s and he looked like he was 16, right?
Don't let him pass you by.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, he's in his mid-20s and he looks like he's 16.
Right.
It works.
Yeah.
And so when you're in your mid-30s and you look like you're 16, you have to play dweebs.
So you're saying Daniel Radcliffe is never going to be a cool guy?
Oh, I saw him in a movie where he was shaving. He was definitely an adult man, I believe. He's got an action movie on Netflix now. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to get you guys to watch it, but
Oh, I'm in.
it looks so bad.
All right, we got to get back to Deck the Hall, Sam. What else you got?
I mean, honestly, that's really it, is that everybody got saddled with a piece of shit and they all hated it. And I can't imagine Kristen Davis did much after this. Chenoweth didn't look like she did very good, and she's actually a singer more than an actress.
Right.
She was in Glee. She was on Glee for a long time.
Right. It makes me wonder if this would have killed Danny DeVito's career if it hadn't been for Sonny. What if it wasn't for Sonny?
Danny DeVito's career, because it's not the only. He's bulletproof.
Yeah.
When we were talking about him in Batman Returns last week, everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
He's fine. The guy's bulletproof.
Name a movie between Batman Returns and Deck the Halls that stars Danny DeVito.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't think he's as I think Sonny saved his fucking ass.
Sure, but at this point, he's like 74 now, so he's probably not going to be working a
And he's
whole
still
lot.
awesome. I love Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Good follow on Twitter. All right, so we are ready, I guess, to deck the
There's
podcast.
a couple more interesting notes that I'll leak.
Say
Well,
them.
no, it's going to be fun because I'll mention it
It's not going to be fun.
later. Okay, fine. So here's the most interesting thing that I found about it, and and it wasn't interesting until I watched it, is that Matthew Broderick spent 2 months learning how to speed skate to do that scene.
Oh, no.
2 months?
Oh, no.
How do you spend 2 months learning how to speed skate and look like you're speed skating?
Can't you just shoot around it?
Yeah, can't you just get a double?
Did you notice it could have been anything? Like, he probably was like so pissed because he's like, I did all this extra work. And then when you see the scene, you're like, oh, it doesn't even fucking matter. I could have gone out there the first time and looked like I was hugging the wall at the roller rink and nobody would have known.
You don't even need to be on skates.
Nope.
You can have a guy be on skates and everything that you're in is shot from the waist up.
Yeah, it's
wow, how
didn't work.
disappointing.
Yeah, that's stupid. Oh, man. Poor guy. Even though I just threw him under the bus and now I'm saying, poor guy. I feel bad for him now.
I think he's got it okay.
Poor Broderick. Well, he's married to Sarah Jessica Parker.
I thought they
That's
got
not okay.
divorced.
Oh,
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, ugh.
There was talk of divorce.
I think they're a fine pair.
Oh, she's so gross. Okay. Open on Broderick. He is the town optometrist.
Optometrist?
That thing. In a very wholesome small town, basically. Like picturesque Norman Rockwell setting type shit.
Inner East or West Massachusetts, say.
Yeah, right. Stephen King might spend some time there, you might say.
He might.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's
Got
nice.
some whiskey,
town.
yeah? Except there's no whiskey there. There's no drinking in this town.
No, there's not.
One guy has a beer light later.
He goes through town after giving this lady an eye exam, and she's snarky, and it's dumb. And he meets the mayor, who also runs the general goods store, I guess. And there's lots of foreshadowing being thrown in our face right here, because the tree is getting set up, and the mayor's like, hey, by the way, the sheriff dresses like a lady. And
We had to use this Marilyn Monroe doll for my wife's collection because we couldn't get a big enough star.
yeah, so remember that later, dear viewer. And he goes home to his very dweeby family, the dweebs, as it were. He's having dinner with a sweater and a tie on.
He is. His wife makes cookbooks, but apparently sucks at cooking.
She compiles cookbooks
And then
recipes.
His daughter's maybe from
Arrested
Development, and his son is having an existential crisis.
I think he's discovered the powers of his penis.
He says that he's 10, and all he's really done is beat Halo and Legendary, which is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, no, he's right on track.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, at 10 years old, I had accomplished much more than that.
You had collected a mass of She-Ra figures.
And He-Man.
So
I'd seen my weenie dog hump my Barbie couch multiple times.
All right, check
On that.
And the weenie dog that humped my couch also bit my little brother in the wiener.
Yep, check on that. You are ahead.
I am ahead of that 10-year-old in life.
I would say a good comparative, though, would be if you had beaten Mario World all 96 stars.
Whatever.
Did you do that?
No.
Well, then you suck.
I don't play video games. I don't play video games.
Your life is a failure.
No, my life is awesome.
You're sitting in a basement on a podcast talking about Deck the Halls. It's all over.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is just I'm working up to my peak. It's taken 3 years now. How long have we been doing this?
She's got 3 years. We're on our 6th, Jackie.
Yeah.
6 years. I'm still working up to that peak, but eventually this whole podcasting thing is going to pay off for me because you guys are going to look back on it, and when I'm dead, when I'm like 110, and you guys are going to be like, I just wish I could hear her voice one more time. And then they'll turn on the podcast where I'm like, penis, and
Dog farts.
yeah, talking about penises and poop and everything else that I like to talk about on these shows. And you'll be like, I can die happy now.
I have one question. Are you going to stop talking so we can get back to Deck the Halls?
I figured if we just, put in some colorful stories here and there, we could make it more interesting.
About penis biting. Broderick's character, Steve, he's like the king of Christmas in the town. He's super jacked for it. He organizes everything. It's his big thing. It's Christmas time. Now he finally gets to take off the Bruce Wayne mask and put on the Batman cowl, as it were, for Christmas.
Very organized about it. Crosses all the T's, dots all the I's.
The lowercase
J's.
He goes to bed with his wife, and they're very bland, no humping. And he hears a moving truck come in. It turns out it's a moving truck, but it sounds like it's goddamn the hillbillies are moving in. Like,
Sure. Beverly
where do you
Hillbillies.
get this? Yeah, where do you get this fucking rental truck?
It's called the You Drop It. That's what it said on the side of the truck.
Right.
I thought
Which
that
wasn't funny when we were watching it, but it's apparently funny
Well,
now.
because the truck is you drop it off a cliff. Like,
Yeah.
this truck is a piece of shit. Why
truck-
did you rent this one?
It's cheap.
Yeah, I guess. So he's got new neighbors moving in. Turns out it's Danny DeVito and his family, Buddy, and his wife and 2 daughters. We get a little foreshadowing with a Christmas bulb, too, though. Drops one on the ground. The next morning, the neighbors, they show up on his porch, on Steve's porch, introduce themselves.
They're stealing his paper.
Yeah.
Let's not mince words here.
Yeah. They're supposed to be like, instantly you're supposed to be like, wow, what scumbags. These neighbors are going to really suck. But immediately, I'm more identifying with Buddy and his family than I am with Steve and his family.
Well, they're both dicks. I guess we learned that halfway through. He does steal the paper and his coffee, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Steve's wiener comes out.
Steve's dick is out
Yeah. It's, I guess, what happened.
in front of his house.
When the wife comes over from next door, his wiener comes out, and I'm like, so
looks
are
like we got a little friend.
Doesn't show it, though.
Yeah. So he got a hard on when the neighbor wife came over.
Does he have morning wood, or does he just have like really loose boxers where, you stand a certain way and it's like, hey, I feel a draft?
I used to have a set that the leg holes were too small, and they would catch on my thighs, and then it would open it up, and my wiener would fall out.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got that going on. I also had a pair of underwear that I refused to throw away for a long time that ended up being like just a loincloth. And it was funny because I ended up like just out of nowhere, like hooking up with some girl at a bar. Like, this is 15 years ago, right? And I realized
this was a long time ago, everybody.
Yeah, because the magic ain't working anymore. Let me tell you. So I realized as I'm about to take my pants off, I'm like, oh shit, I got the loincloth undies on. And it became a focal point of conversation for a little bit where like it almost didn't happen because she's like, you're fucking, why don't you throw those away? Those aren't underwear anymore. There's just a flap in front and back. It's still protecting my pants, I guess, from my balls, sort of.
From an accosted.
Kind of. I have a Christmas story, actually,
Sure.
about wiener flopping out. My early in Shaggy and I's marriage, my father and mother-in-law bought me some pajamas for Christmas.
Sure.
And as I opened these pajamas up, I realized that they didn't have a button where the dick is. And so there's just a gaping hole, potentially. And when you get something for Christmas with my particular in-laws, you pretty much have to use it in front of them. And the whole time I'm unwrapping this, I'm like, my in-laws are going to see my junk sometime. Like, I'm going to sit weirdly, and I'm going to have it come out. And so now I just can never wear those pajamas around them.
Just put a tube sock on your junk. You're like, why is there a sock coming out of your pajamas? Like, well, it's better than my dick.
It's a condom. You never know. You
Yeah.
know, I'm safety first.
Well, you never know, because I saw your dad's wiener
Right. Yeah. That does happen.
in the hospital when he was like, woo, lifting up his gown, showing
Yeah.
all the nurses. I'm like,
I guess
okay.
maybe everybody just sees everybody's wiener. Maybe we're making a bigger deal out of Broderick's wiener coming out in front of his neighbors. Like, this is just a slice of life thing. Again, Norman Rockwell painted that one shot where the doctor's wiener is out while he's giving the kid a physical. You know, that one.
That's what he was doing?
I don't know.
What was the doctor's name? Jerry Sandusky? Too soon?
What,
Is it too soon still?
What
Yes,
painting
it'll
are you
always
referring
be.
to?
Too soon.
I think that joke got really steered in a bad direction and unintentionally. I've been drinking and driving the joke machine. Okay, so there's some animosity immediately, and Buddy's wife comes over, and she's instantly friends with Steve's wife, despite the fact that they're very different personality-wise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm able to get on board with this because I was immediately able to identify that they're both married to dickheads.
Yeah, right.
So they just need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, they're yeah. Okay, all right, good explanation, Sam. And of course he's got two twin daughters who are
volleyball players.
Yeah, that's not what I was trying to think of a kind word.
Dude, they're like 6'5" and all legs.
And
They're
scandalous.
They're LA kind of teenagers.
Eager?
Put it that way.
Hey, what's wrong with LA? Eager?
They're sluts.
They're thirsty.
Thirsty
These are thirsty bitches.
These are thirsty bitches.
And they're not real bright. They're like their mother. They're not very bright.
You might see these ladies on an NFL boat party, per se. You know, Matt Stafford's there throwing touchdowns. per se.
I guess those boxers show up at the Minnesota boat parties too.
Yeah, right.
My wiener just won't stay in these things.
My nose did all this coke because of my boxer shorts.
That too.
All right, so it's awkward. But we cut back to Buddy's first day on sales job. He's a car salesman. And apparently he's like Hall of Fame salesman guy.
Condoms to a nun.
Yeah, pussy to a prostitute. Ice to an Eskimo.
He sells a car to the owner of the car dealership.
Yep.
Right, because these three jack-offs are like, I bet you can't sell that guy. We bet you $3,000 you can't sell that guy.
$3,000.
Yeah.
You know, I know a little bit about car dealerships. You can't throw $3,000 around on it. You never know when you're going to make your next sale.
Exactly. And then the sales staff seems way too large for this town.
Yeah, right.
It's a really small town, and they've got 15 sales guys.
Yeah, they're like max. There's like, what, like 2,000 people that live in this town?
If this was a 2,000-person town, this car dealership's main sales force would be the owner and his wife.
Right. And they have to like sell pickles on the side.
They're
pickle farmers too.
They come out of the boxer shorts.
It's in the gag gift aisle for town when you're, a tourist. Look at these pickle shorts. Must happen around here a lot.
My pickle definitely fall out of those. So he's the best salesman ever, but he hates it. It's not his passion. He just keeps bouncing from town to town, trying to find the right job for himself so that he can feed his own life existence.
He's looking for something to fill his soul.
Yeah, his id is empty.
It sounds like you.
What? Huh? Me?
Yeah.
What? I have you guys. My soul is filled.
Whatever.
Half empty, half full, whichever you want.
If I would have not bought you a dog, then, we probably would have moved 6 times by now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So his daughters show him basically Google Earth, but what's it called? It's like
Earth.
My Earth, yeah. And it works a little different than our Google Earth.
It gives you the command of a satellite at any point in time to pinpoint any location you need.
Right. And it's all live, real-time satellite tracking. I mean, you basically are NORAD.
They've got Kumar in the headquarters.
They do?
They have a headquarters that's live. It's got people there making sure that the My Earth is looking at things.
Right. It's like the Department of Emergency Management with Tommy Lee Jones and Volcano.
Yeah, it's actually more like there's a room like this in Geostorm.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. There's a room like this at Jurassic Park where nobody's doing anything. I mean, really, where are you guys poking holes in the cheese for? Okay, every movie's got one of these rooms.
It's the room where Samuel Jackson's like, hold on to your butts.
All right, so we've got some Google Earth going on for foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Then Buddy takes out the trash and steps on the Christmas bulb, almost completing foreshadowing, but it's just foreshadowing something more. Because what the Christmas bulb does is give him an idea.
Yeah.
We don't even know what the idea is, so more foreshadowing. The first 8 lines of my notes out of 10 have the word foreshadowing in it. God damn it, I hate foreshadowing.
Now, I think that for the listener's sake, we ought to let them know that back in the early days of Christmas bulbs,
we had too much foreshadowing?
They were glass.
Oh, right.
They weren't plastic like they are now. So if you're young and you're listening, yes, the Christmas bulbs used to be made out of glass.
There's also the word catalog in this movie.
If you're young and you're listening and you're confused about who Jerry Sandusky is, write in and tell me to stop telling that joke because it's just not, it'll always be too soon.
How about Larry Nassar? Can we do him yet?
No.
Okay, well, it's too bad. He looks like the Truckee River Killer, just so you know.
Oh, my God.
Like the first time I saw Larry Nassar on television getting busted for the gymnastics things, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
The Truckee River Killer.
No, some people you hire, this is the guy, really? His resume must be great because he's obviously a serial killer.
Yeah, let's bring in our next candidate. Yeah, can you help me get this couch in the van first, though? You're hired.
What's in that? That seems awfully large for a rug.
So we put the TPS reports in the bucket? Or we get the hose again?
Just move on.
Okay. All right, so he hatches this plan where he's going to put so much Christmas lights on his house that my Earth will see it, because he can't see his house right now. He's the only one in town you can't see his house.
It doesn't make...
So chop down some trees, I guess, is what the film is implying. He can't see it because of the trees around his house, or he's in like a valley, or he lives underground.
His valley girls don't know how to use the internet, right?
Yeah, probably.
Well, and they're saying, you can see the house across the street because it's big.
His house is pretty big.
It's as big as
Steve's.
Steve's.
It's just shorter.
It's got a gambrel roof instead of a conventional. Other than that, it's probably bigger inside.
Oh, who the fuck are you, Frank Lloyd Wright? What the hell's a gambrel roof?
Like a barn style.
Oh, man. I didn't know this was fancy talk. I thought this was shitty dick joke movie.
Shitty
joke movie podcast.
Well, he has a shrub that looks like a wiener.
All right. Now we're back on track.
Back on track. All right, here we go.
So he starts putting up the Christmas lights at 3 a.m. with the sonic stapler, I guess, because it's supremely loud. It travels across the neighborhood, wakes Steve up, and he's like, "What is going on? I got to go over there and shut this shit down."
Yep. It's 3 a.m., buddy. Knock it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time we ever yell at our neighbors is when their dogs shit in our front yard,
Like just
and we
after
can
the
see
storm.
them.
Yeah. That's a.
We don't go across the street, though, when there's noise in the middle of the night because, I don't know, we're passed out drunk, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to wake us up.
Right. True. Thank God
we
for
don't-
Valium.
We don't yell at the people late at night because they're the ones yelling at us.
We just wave. All right, so he still can't see his house on Google Earth. So he needs even more lights. Even though Steve is like, dude, you can't put up these lights. It's
Christmas
time, and that's, I hate it, but I like it. I don't know. Why is he such a fuddy-duddy immediately?
He's the boss of Christmas.
Yeah, but it seems like he's like mad about Christmas lights. Not that somebody else is putting up Christmas lights, because he doesn't have any Christmas lights on his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, Justin, is that we are those people that are the Danny DeVitos of the neighborhood, where our lights flash and keep everybody up all night.
Right, sure.
And we put out a fuckload of them.
Uh-huh.
So we don't have that because our lights are blocking anybody else's 2 or 3 strands that are across
But
the
I would
street.
encourage somebody to have even more lights if they wanted to.
Yeah, but maybe it's because he likes the old-fashioned Christmas. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because if you look at their house,
Bing
right,
Crosby type shit or something,
right? They don't have any lights up. They have the strung garland around their fence. And so I'm thinking that he's more into the classic Christmas before, the lights and the extravaganza of everything. So he is a rotten apple.
He actually says at the beginning when they're putting the tree up in the middle of town, he's like, not too many lights.
What a fucking fuddy-duddy. That's the only thing I can call him, is a fuddy-duddy.
And then if you look at it in the town, all the signs are not electric in that too. So it's just one of those quiet places.
Who hurt him?
You want to know if the diner's open, you just have to look for the candle in the window.
Diners close at 6.
Yeah, exactly. A.M. So anyways, the next day, Steve is this family is doing their sweater picture, their annual sweater picture. They all put on the same dumb, ugly Christmas sweater and get in front of the hearth and take a photo, and then they put it up on the wall.
What happened in this scene is I had to look up to see how old Maybe was when she shot the movie, and she's only 16.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you going to go with that, Sam? Now
Not
that
anywhere.
You've set something up that clearly makes you look like a terrible person.
Well, it's not my fault. They're the ones that put those cans in the movie. And you're like, is she of age? Because they need to put more clothes on her.
Yeah, they really did.
It's not her fault.
It's
She
not.
just was born with huge knockers, but I was like, oh no, she's only 16? Yikes. Those are huge for a 16-year-old.
Wow.
Now that's out there.
Well, I didn't want to do it. It was
Okay, just move on quick before he talks too much more.
John
Jesus.
Whitesale. It was him. He's the guy.
All right. So, but he can't because his family gets distracted by Buddy has bought a sleigh, a Santa sleigh, and 2 horses that he strapped fake reindeer antlers to.
Correction. He did not buy these horses. He said he found them on the outskirts of town.
Right.
So they could be wild horses?
Or they're like Jippo horses.
Yeah,
Like,
they're gypsy horses
You
that he
don't
stole?
Find horses anywhere. That's the fucking thing. Horses are more expensive than cars.
right.
No one just leaves them about.
That is not true. The gypsies in England do.
They do actually just have, like, if
Okay.
you see a horse on the side of the road in England, don't go fucking near it because the jippos are right there.
Okay,
And
well-
then you'll have to get into a pikey fight.
In America,
And then
horses are very expensive.
and then Bricktop will burn your fucking family to
Yeah,
the ground.
sure.
And then you get your revenge at the end and
Maybe.
say, don't go to England.
Uh-huh.
Great movie.
He stole these horses. He could be hanged.
He stole these horses. Horse theft, I believe, even in Massachusetts, is a capital punishment crime.
I think you can still hang somebody in Oklahoma for it.
But he's like, screw this, dude. Families wanting to take a picture in the sleigh. And he's like, no, get out of the sleigh, kid. And then the horses get spooked. And then Buddy's on a ride to Death Town.
Comedy set piece.
Yep.
Or
Is it?
is it?
It's pretty hard to watch.
They
It's
didn't-
like Munchie type
It's Munchie
stuff.
bad.
Yeah.
And it's actually worse because Munchie at least picked one process to do the stupid bullshit. They did green screen. They did rear projection. They did it all.
Yep.
And you can tell shot to shot that it's not the same fucking process. It looks terrible.
Yeah, no, it sucks. And it ends with him getting led through town, everybody almost dying, and him ending up in the lake.
Dying. Because they're not going to get to him fast enough.
No. They don't even know where he is.
Well, not to mention that he would have died as soon as the sleigh disconnected from the horses.
True.
Yeah.
Because the sleigh, the front of the sleigh would have dropped, and it would have gotten caught on the pavement, and the momentum would have flipped that over, and he either would have been caught underneath and died, or he would have been flung into a tree and speared.
Or he gets flung directly into a dumpster, and then the lid closes on top of him, and the movie credits roll.
Yeah.
That's what I would have liked.
And then Oscar the Grouch is like, quit with all the racket.
And put your dick back in your
And
pants.
what is your wiener out for?
Wait, why is my wiener out?
What? His wiener's always out. You just can't see it because he's in a trash can.
Yeah, dude. You notice he never gets out of the trash can.
Right, yeah. Okay, so they save him somehow, put him in the minivan, and take him to the hospital rather than an ambulance. And he's in the back seat. He wakes up with naked with Buddy right there on top of him.
Buddy's huddling body warmth.
Yeah, it's hot. There's your steamy sex scene, Sam.
There's more non-hilarity.
Well, you know what's weird is that Matthew Broderick's face during the scene actually looked weird. Like he was legitimately frozen or something because his one eye was just like kind of creeped out. It was on, if you're watching it, it's on the left-hand side. And it looks like his eye has been like bad facelift or something because it's droopier than the other one. And
Maybe to immerse himself more fully into the role after finding out that his speed skating wasn't going to be a thing. He went in and had stroke surgery, and that's how he got that. Yeah.
So maybe he just like froze half of his face. He's into method acting, and then maybe DeVito like got into method acting too, and he was actually naked and put his dick on Broderick's leg.
Right.
oh, I would do it.
They would just what?
I would do it, and I would make sure that it was slightly sticky.
What?
It's trying to
What?
stick to his leg here, and so it would be like this when you
Okay.
peel it off.
Now slightly sticky as from like
Like
not
you put
showering,
glue
or
on
did you like jack off?
No.
and then let it just hang out on your stuff.
It's just, that hot, sticky munge dick, where you haven't
Not
washed it in a
showering.
while.
Right. And then snuggle a man.
Yeah,
Right.
stick it up there and like, that's the sound it would make when it peeled off.
Like back on a leather couch.
Like
Yeah.
like your Marlon Brando. I heard put his dick on a lot of
He
people.
put his dick in a lot of people.
And on.
In, I guess. He
On?
had sex with
In? On?
What did Quincy Jones said that he would fuck a mailbox.
What?
How do you
I don't know, and that's the
how do you
weirdest
fuck
thing.
him?
Because
if he can fuck a mailbox and it feels good for him, more power to you, buddy. You've got a record dick.
But that's just a weird thing to say, though, too. It's like, but that was Quincy Jones' way of saying that he didn't care. He would have sex with anybody.
Okay, all right.
So
all
yeah,
right.
apparently
Fuck a
Marlon
mailbox.
Brando would fuck a mailbox.
There you go.
So you're saying there's a chance?
All right, so
He's not alive anymore.
no.
Oh God, there we go. Once again.
That night, it's clear to Steve that the neighborhood is going downhill and he's losing control of the situation because the entire town is there looking at Buddy's Christmas light display. There's honking, there's shouting, there's too many people on his little tiny quiet neighborhood street.
And they're, his wife and his daughters are out there Danny DeVito's family, is out there giving away like little candy canes and glow sticks. You know, they're encouraging people to come by. They're really getting into it.
But he thinks that Buddy is stealing his power, that he's jacked into his system and is, stealing his juice.
He is.
Yeah, he is. So he's like, I'm going to take this shit down. I fucking hate this crap. But the next day they all go to get trees together.
He's so concerned about it that he doesn't take a walk around his house to see if anything's plugged into it.
Right, indeed. They go to get trees together, though, as neighbors, I guess. I don't know if they pre-planned this date or whatever, but Steve has got his own trees at the tree dealership.
I don't know if it's like, I think he's actually fenced off part of the forest.
Yeah, it says Finch family plot or whatever. And it's got the same white picket fence that he has around his current house.
So he has illegally
fenced off part of the forest.
Okay, all right. I thought that this was a tree dealership.
No.
Huh. What a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, you can't do that. Those are not your trees, dude. You don't own the trees.
He said that he planted these trees.
Doesn't
He's got
matter.
the next 5 years.
They're all our trees.
Whatever. I mean, not if you put a picket fence around it.
I guess not.
No, if you buy the land, you can put a fence on it. But you can't just put a fence in the forest and call it yours.
You know what? I'm kicking
So
that
if you like
fucking
it, you
fence
should have
down.
put a fence on it.
Yeah.
Take that, Beyonce.
Jay-Z already did.
Jay-Z hasn't done anything in 15 fucking years.
He put a fence on it. But Buddy has managed to knock over a gas can somehow because I guess it's for his chainsaw. Steve is using an axe to chop down his tree.
Yeah.
And the flint that's in the axe
When you hit
hits at the tree
I don't know,
and
you must-
causes a fire.
I'll take it because I'm a lot more familiar with being a lumberjack than you apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever you cut down a tree with an axe, fire just shoots out everywhere. I've seen it happen, dude.
Or it could have been the rebar that was there to hold the tree up so that it would grow straight.
What?
You guys didn't see that?
Yeah, they were
There was a
holding the tree
piece of
up.
rebar right there, and he hit the rebar, and that's what caused the sparks.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, it doesn't matter. Sparks don't like gas. Gas's flash point's really kind of high.
It's super high, and that limited amount of gas in snow, mind you, would pretty much quench itself immediately. It's not on top of the trees. It's in the fucking snow, this gasoline. Not to mention the trees are planted. They're completely green. They've been snowed on. These trees don't burn down.
Unless you try to cut them down with an axe because fire shoots out.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a little-known phenomenon called St. Schmelmo's fire.
St. Elmo's bullshit.
I'm going to say that it's not true because, I've smoked by plenty of gas cans. And I've smoked by in gas stations right next to the pump while I'm pumping my gas, and nothing's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
The attendant came out and started screaming at me.
I saw a flash in the rearview mirror, some noise.
Yeah, but I was fine.
Yeah.
Got my gas, drove away.
Indeed. So his trees are gone. He doesn't have a tree. He gets a little crappy Charlie Brown tree instead.
Because it has to be a certain one.
Right.
A
silver noble.
Yeah.
Yes, the mightiest
I
of all.
remembered that from whatever
fir
reason.
trees. The town now considers Buddy the Christmas guy. He's the Christmas expert, and they're all coming to him for Christmas advice because that's a thing. And Steve is quite upset about this. He's been dethroned as Christmas guy. So now the competition is really heating up.
The mayor even asks him Christmas guy questions.
Yeah. Whoa. That's a line too far.
It is. And Steve can't take it.
Right. So that night, again, it's Christmas bullshit at Buddy's house. And Steve is trying to have his annual Christmas bullshit, which is he's got the town choir there to go caroling, and it's all very prim and professional and, all planned and certain set lists.
He has songbooks that he's printed out.
Right.
He's made it as not fun as it can possibly be.
Right, but they get easily distracted because Buddy's got the hottest jam of the Christmas season playing next door.
Number one Christmas jam. It's like, ooh, it's Christmas, yo.
Yeah, it's Lil Wayne.
Is it?
Lil Wayne doing Christmas time.
Does he have Christmas?
What?
Yeah.
Xmas!
That was Little John.
Wrap it up for
I don't
what?
know. Lil Wayne, Lil Jon,
Little John's the one who's like, yeah.
Little Debbie. They're all the same.
Little Debbie. She makes delicious snack cakes.
Cupcakes. What?
Yeah.
All right, so his daughter Mimi is also hooking up with sailors.
These sailors. There's 3 sailors and one baby.
Like cartoon sailors there.
It's not. These are real men. They're gonna do bad things.
It's like the Watchmen. Like the comedian in Vietnam.
Sure.
Get your daughter away from grown-ass sailors away from war.
They're
on leave from war is the line later in the movie.
In inland Massachusetts. Like, they've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
This must be a known area for such behaviors.
Right? I'll just go get a 15-year-old at the tiniest town I can find.
It's legal. What state are we in? You have a map printed out with numbers that are in the teens, so you know where you're at.
I mean, I think you can get. You're going out with the quarterback and he's a senior? You're not even supposed to be dating right now. That's a little less
those
than
are
3 grown-ass men picking up a 15-year-old.
Oh, come on. They're also going to get the twins from across the street.
Okay.
So
and
these ladies
that makes it so that things aren't going in your 15-year-old's butt later.
We don't see that. We only see her and 3 sailors.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making an assumption there.
Yep.
Assumption.
What's that called, Brett Kavanaugh? The Devil's Triangle. It's a drinking game.
I like beer.
What's wrong with me drinking a little beer?
Just so you know, I love it. I'll punch you. Beer. On the Supreme Court. So cool. So cool. So cool. So he goes to tell the band,
Sheriff Dave.
Sheriff Dave, the things have gone too far and he wants to file a complaint against Buddy.
Yeah.
But he can't.
Because he doesn't like ladies' underwear.
On a man.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, wait. You got to back up here.
Okay.
He goes to go do it, but he's trying to get out of his driveway, and he's been blocked in by a caravan.
Yeah. Do we have to?
And a truck, and it ends up that between the two, they rip his doors off.
Yeah, okay,
So
great.
it destroys his car. Well, you need to mention it because of what happens later.
Yeah, because of how not funny it is as well. This is its second real big laugh that the movie's going for.
Yeah, and it sucks. Anyways, yeah, he runs away from Sheriff Dave because he's wearing ladies' underwear. He can't go through with filing a complaint because he sees Sheriff Dave in a thong.
Yeah.
Well, that's how uptight and traditional he is.
He runs away from it?
Yeah, he's like, nope, I can't. No.
I can't go through with this because that man's wearing ladies' underwears.
Yep.
Yeah, he can't face him.
And we're supposed to like him?
No, he's a dickhead.
Yeah,
I said
he's a
this from the
dick.
beginning.
Like, you can't have your protagonist be this big of a fucking tool.
Yeah, he's a dickhead, and so's Buddy.
Ugh, god damn it. Okay. So, that doesn't get done. So instead, he's going to sabotage his lights with the help of his son. So he straps his son on top of a fucking goddamn power line pole. Cool. Safety first. And gets in his Mission Impossible gear.
Yeah.
And breaks in next door, slips in some camel shit, and then gets spit gack in his face by a camel.
A lot of really not funny stuff.
Uh-huh.
Over and over again. And
Well, you're supposed to think it's hilarious.
Well, of course. But
his son falls to his death.
Right? He dies.
Yeah.
Actually, he got cold and he forgot mittens. And so instead of climbing down where his hands would stick to those little ladders, he climbed out onto the power lines and then got electrocuted to death. And all that was left was his skeleton.
No, he tried to undo his grip and the skin came off of his hands and he fell. And the coroner's like, look at his little hands. The skin is still on the telephone pole.
Jackie, how did he die? How do you kill the skin?
I'm saying that he gets his first boner and he looks down. He's like, "What the?"
Oh yeah, because there's the twins are pillow fighting.
Right.
So his boner knocks him off the telephone pole.
And his boner is such a power boner that it touches the metal rods from the ladder and the power lines at the same time. He gets his dick frozen to the ladder and electrocuted on his way down. Combination of all three deaths in one.
No, that's a superhero origin story right there.
Oh.
Yeah, you're taking it too far, sir.
Yeah, right there. Now he's going to get up. He's got weird hair, and he's going to give those twins the shocker.
Oh my God.
It's illegal in 43 states.
He gets the power off. He throws a snowball in the fuse box,
fuck?
and that shuts it all down. But it doesn't work anyways because Buddy has got a giant backup generator. So lights are back on. Great. But Buddy knows about the sabotage. So he's like, that's it. That's the last straw. I want my swing line stapler back. And he steals the town's Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Breaks into Steve's house in the middle of the night with a 12-foot tree filled with ornaments.
Yeah.
And sets it in his living room.
Sure.
Without anybody noticing.
Right, with a cup of coffee and his morning paper and a note.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also he got him a new car.
Yeah.
It's parked outside. It's a Chrysler.
Nice.
You know
It's
what?
like
I'm going to pass, Buddy.
Did they even really make that car?
The Chrysler Durango? Yeah, it's
like-
just a Durango.
But I don't remember him actually releasing that.
Because nobody buys Chrysler, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody we know would buy a Chrysler. Dear listener, if you have a Chrysler, I'm sorry for everything. Sorry for what life has done to you. Sorry about the shit bread that's been served up on a platter because you got a Chrysler? What?
You know, during the late Reagan administration, we all wanted a LeBaron.
Yeah, those were cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, the LeBaron. Chryslers. So he's like, wow, great, thanks. Things are awesome now. Thanks, Buddy. What a guy. And Buddy's like, hee. Because Buddy has stolen the car from the dealership, forged his signature onto the contract, and now Steve has a lease on his car.
Bought
that he
a
can't
car
afford.
from Buddy.
Yeah. He took a third of the commission off.
Yeah.
So Buddy's making money on the side of his felony.
Sure.
And Steve is like, goes down to the dealership and is like, you know what? We're going to get in fisticuffs. Let's go outside and fight. No, you don't say a word to fucking Buddy. You go into his manager's office and say, you slide the fucking piece of paper over and be like,
yeah.
Look at this. Buddy is then fired, arrested, and thrown in fucking prison.
He is.
And you never have to deal with him again. Till he gets out and wants revenge. Against the man that wronged him. Deck the Halls 2. The Punisher.
Deck the Halls 2 Sunday Bloody Christmas.
Exactly. It doesn't really matter, though, anyways, because Buddy basically gets fired because he's not going to fucking work. He has been on this job for less than a week.
Yeah.
And he gets called into the sales manager's office and is like, your numbers are low. You used to be the top.
You know, and you're like, wait, I've seen him at work once. He sold a car. If he sells another one this month, I think he's doing okay. I can't remember how that works.
Right. But your numbers are down, buddy. Well, it's because I'm not coming to work. That's right. You're not coming to work at all because you've been here on the job for 3 days and you don't come to work. So I think you're fired.
I don't know. I'm kind of led to believe that this is taking place over the course of all of December. That he moves in on December 1st.
Are you not paying attention to the title cards that are in the front of the movie that say what day we're on? We're only on Christmas 10th, and the movie started on December 3rd.
Christmas 10th.
The 10th of Christmas.
The movie started on the 1st.
Oh yeah, first of Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're right. I saw the little house thing, and I know that the end of the movie ends on the 24th or 25th. So I know that it's happening over a course of a month.
The entire movie. This is the 10th. He's been on the job for less than a week.
Or a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's fired. It's festival time, the big Christmas festival. They've made a bet.
Yeah.
Speed skating. Who's the better speed skater? Whoever wins the speed skating event is going to either pay for the car or turn off the Christmas lights.
And this is really where we see how big of a dick Steve really is, because he speed skated in college, which I guess you can do.
Right, sure.
Maybe.
I'm sure you probably can someplace.
Someplace, right? Yeah. And it's part of the festival. It's
Right.
for him to beat everybody in town at the thing that he's good at.
Every year.
What a fucking dick.
What a dick. Ugh. Speed skating festival with a town of 2,000 people. Are you kidding me right now?
Well, the mayor tried.
Yeah, and
had-
Fred Armisen and his wife try too.
They're supposed to be foreigners. I can't tell if they're...
Foreigners.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
I think
there.
that they're.
This is my wife.
Yeah.
I think that they're German.
Or just Borat in general. It's nondescript where these people are from. But
they're from Parmistan.
Yeah, they're from Parmistan. Before the competition goes down, though, they've realized, hey, man, maybe we've taken things too far. Let's try to find some common ground. And then the Santa babies come out on stage. And they're like, hey, you like butts, right?
Like, hey, where's the common ground that we can find? Oh, let's start catcalling these people on stage regardless of who they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, because this is a small town and it's never going to come back to haunt me.
And it's pretty filthy shit that they're saying. It's not, there's no swear words, but it's still jump on this boner.
Yeah.
Who's
Teenage
your daddy?
girls.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who would say that out loud?
Who would say that out loud? That man belongs behind bars.
Yeah.
Yuck. But sure enough, they turn around. It's their daughters. Hey, we're the daddies.
So then
Whoa.
what you do if you've done that to, make things okay is you put holy water in your eyes.
Right. Yeah, because it's your eyes
Yeah.
that are the problem. The bad thing has happened to your eyes, not to your fucking 15-year-old daughter who just got sexualized by your fucking ass.
Yeah.
She's fine. She doesn't have to go to the fucking shrink for the rest of her life because her dad said, "Show me your tits."
Yeah, she
Don't worry about her.
doesn't need to.
Yeah.
She'll sort it out with those sailors later.
Yeah, dude, if you're going to get on stage in a pair of fishnets and a skirt that barely
Oh,
covers your
you're
ass.
asking for your dad to be like, "I want your pussy, girl."
Whoa.
That went to a dark place.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
Gross.
Like, it's your fault. No, fuck them.
that's gross.
Also, the mayor should have some fault in this as
yeah,
well.
the mayor
the-
should have put a stop to
I don't think
this.
that this is okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody's in trouble here. So, anyways, it's race time. And the mayor really screws over Steve, knocks him down,
Yeah.
makes him go backwards, hijinks aplenty, and it ends with Buddy winning. Yay.
Yay, buddy.
So Steve has to pay for the car now. But he's like, "Oh, yeah, well, you still can't see your house from space, you son of a bitch."
Yep.
Yeah, he's a terrible loser.
Mm-hmm.
At no point do you ever like this character.
No, Steve sucks. But Buddy is also not helping the cause because he sells his wife's family heirloom, her grandmother's vase, as it were, to buy more Christmas lights.
This thing's like Genghis Khan's urn.
Mm-hmm.
This is like really nice.
Yeah, it's probably
What
not
the-
theirs.
Why the fuck does she have it?
It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, Indiana Jones should come kill all these people. He should do it. Except maybe.
But he'd see
And the kid that he can live too. All the kids can live, but the parents need to die.
Indiana Jones would swing in on his whip, see Matthew Broderick's dick, and be like, "Snakes? Why did it have to be snakes?" Because it's just,
No,
hey, you're snaky.
Yeah, he'd probably like, I'm afraid of snakes, not tiny wieners. I'm accusing Matthew Broderick of having a tiny wiener. Or his character Steve. How
Is
about
it
that?
cold outside? Actually, it is.
It's Massachusetts in December.
So his wife and kids leave Buddy. They're going away. She's pissed. And Steve is like, "Fuck this. This is still going on. The biggest light demo ever has happened. I need to take this guy out." So he meets a shady black market fireworks dealer in an alleyway.
In East Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Because if everybody knows that is a real trade there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're very proud of the 4th of July
Yeah.
celebration. Got to do it better than your
Black
neighbor.
market firework dealer on every street corner. I like mattress firms. So he's gonna shoot them at Buddy's house.
Yeah.
But hijinks happen. He slips and falls and ends up blowing up his own house.
And the guy is a little bit, he's worried. He's like, who are you? I'm not going to sell. Maybe I have it, maybe I don't. He's like, well, I'm going to shoot up fireworks at my neighbor's house. It's like, oh, if you're going to do something that'll get us both caught, I'm on board.
Yeah, now we're good.
I'm talking vandalism.
So now that he's blown up his own house, his wife and kids have left him too. Steve's family is gone.
And burns down the town's Christmas tree.
Right.
Which doesn't pay itself off because he never gets caught for that.
Right.
Yeah, like the sheriff accuses him because of the Marilyn Monroe star, but then never does anything about it.
I got my eye on you, Finch.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I do your eyes every year, sheriff.
Both of them?
Yes.
Damn
Yes.
it.
No, I've been secretly not doing the one.
You win this round, Finch. All right, so they both realize that they're alone, and so they hatch a plan to get the family back, their families. And that involves stringing up all the lights from Buddy's house on a path from the hotel that they're staying at back to Buddy's house, where they have prepared a bevy of
A Christmas bounty.
Right, based off of the cookbook that these two ladies have been working
a
on.
veritable cornucopia of food.
It all looks like shit.
Yeah, it does.
It looks gross.
It's like meatballs on macaroni,
Right.
and there's like some other bullshit in
like
there.
crap that you feed a 4-year-old.
It looks like there's some squash shaped like a deer head.
Grandma's bunt cake.
Bunt cake looks better than this.
Yeah.
Well, not my grandma's.
Well, not to mention that they ruined the little boy's Christmas at this point.
Okay.
Because at this point, he's in a hotel room with those two blondes.
Uh-huh.
And you know he's shower peeking.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, best Christmas ever.
Yep, he has stolen the greatest gift you could give 10-year-old Timmy. Hey, and he killed him at the beginning, so hey.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. So they're all like, yay, cool, good job, we love you. And, but there's still no victory on the lights of space. All the lights have been taken down, so
Well,
it's
and
all
they get
over.
the vase back.
Oh yeah. He bought the vase back.
With the credit cards, rather than just buying the extra lights with the credit cards.
Right.
Whatever.
Sure. The whole town arrives though, and they have got Christmas decorations for Buddy. They set him all the way back up. Whole town gets involved. Steve's involved. They put this thing together. MTV shows up.
Well, they said that they're sending someone from MTV to do a documentary about you.
Right.
MTV, the documentary company.
Yeah, they're right after Super Dave left, or whatever that Dan Osborne or whatever that guy's name was. Dan. You know, I'm
Yeah.
90s Dan.
Yeah, that guy. He was in Demolition Man.
Yeah, there's a Z behind instead of X's everywhere, and everything's extreme. What the fuck was that guy? Dan Cortez.
Dan Cortez.
Yeah, after he left, they switched over to be more like HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be realistic. The person that they supposedly have from MTV, she's way too old to be an MTV broadcaster.
And she's not drunk.
Yeah. She's wearing full clothes. I mean, everybody knows this is not right.
Well, they flip the switch, and the lights don't work. Oh, so what does everybody do? They get out their fucking 2006 phones and shine a light. Oh, and then they start singing
candles.
carols.
They sing "Oh Holy Night."
The whole town.
This is the part where Chenoweth shows up for the only reason they got her to do it.
Yeah,
So she starts singing her song for the soundtrack that probably didn't sell either.
probably not.
And then young Timmy, or whatever the hell his name is, because he's marginalized,
Right.
not only by his family, but by the movie.
Correct.
It's like, yeah, this shit's not plugged in, stupids.
It's not plugged in at the main plug. It's not
Yeah.
like he traces the wires down. The plug where they were standing next to, where they flipped the switch, is not plugged in.
Yep.
Good work, everybody.
Yeah.
So he plugs it in.
It shoots a hole in the ozone layer.
It does.
It also blinds everybody that's working at the map world.
My Earth Command Center.
Yep.
It blasts through their monitors and blinds them, and now they got to see Steve for eye ophthalmology stuff, and so it's a big win for Steve.
Big win for Steve. Good thing my Earth is in this town too.
And that's the end of the movie.
It just stops. The
It
movie just stops.
stops. Wow. This thing's a piece of shit for
It
me.
sucks.
Who wants to go first on questions? Jackalope?
I don't have any.
I
Good.
don't have any. It's too stupid.
It's too stupid. We've got one.
What's that?
True spirit of Christmas. Does
Oh, yeah,
it
that's-
capture the true spirit and meaning of Christmas?
I'm going to go with yes,
Okay. How's that?
because it really does focus on the Christmas magic that can only happen by unplanned events, that you cannot control it.
It makes
And-
a line about that.
And it does, it is very family oriented.
Yeah.
Like, this is very much Christmas is a time for family and for being grateful for what you have.
Other than everybody's family gets thrown under the bus.
Well, at the end, they're like, see, you assholes were being assholes too much. It's just about your family. And they're like, okay, you're right, it is. So they do say that.
All right. So we're calling it a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Yep.
It succeeded as a Christmas movie and failed as a movie.
As a movie and as a comedy, especially as a comedy.
Yeah. As far as viewing this turd, I'm going to give it a no.
Really? I thought you liked it, Jackie. You cried at the end.
She was lying.
I was
She
lying.
cried at the end.
I
She
like
started-
to try to, cloak and dagger our listeners.
Okay.
Like, oh, I'm going to say yes at the end. No, I'm with you guys. It was very painful to watch.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's traumatizing, as it were. It's almost, other than the fact that there's a plot, it's almost Surviving Christmas levels of like, God, I fucking hate this shit. So
At least
it's a don't for me.
Surviving Christmas made me hate it. This didn't even
Yeah.
inspire hate. It's just
I think I
nothing.
hated it. I think I hated it. This movie can go fuck itself.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. Do not.
To me, it was like a plain potato chip. It'll
Hmm?
do in a pinch.
I know. Plain potato chips are fine.
Ugh.
This was like a stale saltine
Off-brander.
cracker.
A stale donut.
No, donuts have sugar. This didn't have that.
You can't eat a stale donut.
It's like a saltine cracker that's been on the counter for a week.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, don't watch this movie. On streaming do's and don'ts this week, though, we got some that may or may not be do's from us. Starting with one that Sam and I watched, a follow-up to our hot introduction to Chad McQueen from Martial Law. Steve McQueen's son. Chad McQueen's Steve. Actually, you know what? Not Chad McQueen. Steve McQueen's kid and that guy from Fist of the North Star in Firepower. Gary Daniels. And Chad McQueen. This is an odd take on things because it's like a future movie. Dystopian two societies film again, where there's the rich people living in the high castles and then everybody else lives in the dirt and swaller. But
they have an actual lawless area.
Yeah, you go to the lawless area.
In the center of LA. They figured the only way to get the crime rate down was to just fence off a portion of it and just not go there.
Right. And they're cops. They're tough cops.
Yeah.
And end up getting into a gladiator fight.
It becomes an arena fighter.
Yeah.
It's like best of the best after a minute.
So that they can get justice because they're chasing a guy down.
Yeah,
who they have to fight. The dude. Remember who the dude is?
The dude is the ultimate warrior.
The dude that they have to get is the fucking ultimate warrior.
So you're like,
what?
Wait, Gary Daniels, lawlessness, best of the best. Chad McQueen, the Ultimate Warrior. This is going to be amazing. Except for Chad McQueen. They killed Gary Daniels off way too fast.
Wait, like Gary Daniels is the guy that should have to have the final showdown against the Ultimate Warrior.
No.
Nope, he just gets his head chopped right off.
Just chopped right off. And the whole time before that, you're watching Chad McQueen's character struggle through these fights. You're like, well, if the good fighter's dead, you can't do it with Chad McQueen.
No. You can't do really anything with Chad McQueen.
No, apparently not. We watched 2 of his movies, and they were tough.
I liked Firepower.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot more awesome. I did enjoy the fact that they kept constantly going, have you seen so-and-so? And in the movie, you could go, yeah, he's right there.
He's standing next to you.
You don't have to arena fight him. You can just shoot him.
The whole plot of the movie is they're on their way to kill the Ultimate Warrior because he broke he did some crimes or something.
He killed their friend.
Yeah, okay. And they don't.
They don't. And
they
then
end up partaking in a contest against him.
And it's lawless, right?
Right.
Like, there's no law here. It's like, just shoot him.
Just shoot
He's
his ass.
right there.
He's right there.
And they are constantly like, do you know so-and-so? They're like, yeah, well, how do I find him? Turn around. Turn around and shoot him. He's behind you. And the conversations...
You had dinner with him last night.
The conversation's always like, well, why are you looking for him? Like, dude, he's right there in the shot. Just turn around and shoot him.
Yeah, I give Firepower due. It's on Prime right now, I should say.
What's really interesting right now is I'm starting to find that I don't know that we've given a do not to a Gary Daniels movie.
I don't think that's possible. I fucking love Gary Daniels.
Yeah, Gary Daniels
He's
is
so shitty.
very entertaining.
He's absolutely entertaining. I almost want to compare him to Evan Lurie, but
He's way better.
Can't. He's way better, but he's still so... He's got such a doofy face.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be a hot guy, and I like that.
And he's just so high-spirited and upbeat, and you can't, like, he doesn't play characters. He's just, Gary Daniels is in this movie as so-and-so.
Right, he plays a satire of Chuck Norris, essentially.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's a happy guy.
Yeah, I like Gary Daniels a lot. Next up, Jackie and I have done it again. We've gone into the Puppet Masters and pulled out Retro Puppet Master, starring one Greg Sestero.
Really?
The one. That was the only other time you get to see Greg Sestero on film.
The reason that you bought the whole package of them, basically.
Basically. This time, Too Long. We go past 1930s Too Long, and now this is the origin of Too Long, where he was...
I thought the last one you
puppet
watched
guy.
was the origin of Too Long.
No, that's the origin of the puppets that we know.
Oh.
Yeah, of Blade and Leech Lady and Drill Top or whatever his
So,
Tunneler.
How did they go all the way back where he shoots out of his mom's vagina? Or?
Pretty much.
Huh.
No, not that far back. But he's just a magician, or no, he's not a magician. He's a
puppeteer.
He's a puppeteer.
They have a really nice fancy building where they do puppeteer shows. And
now come see perform P.T. Barnum Circus, except for this is just puppets.
And they have, all the puppeteers have very nice, beautiful velvet jackets, with buttons and gold lace.
Jackets with buttons. You reached the top, kid.
Yeah, we're going to give you pants with zippers.
Yeah.
Your dick's not going to hang out like Matthew Broderick's.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah.
And then Germans get involved and kill some people.
No.
Oh, wait,
Mummies.
no, that was the last one. Oh, yeah, mummies get involved in this one.
What? Mummies?
So there's a man who's running around and he has stolen the secret of life from a pharaoh. And so the pharaoh wakes up the mummies and then dresses them up as where in the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Correct.
And sends them out to get this guy and kill him.
Holy shit.
But the guy does get killed, but before he can die, he passes his secret of immortality on to Too Long, who then can reanimate puppets now.
And his original puppets are his friends from the puppeteer company because they all get killed by the mummies.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I'm going to give it a total
It's
due. I loved it.
It's the first one that I have ever liked. It's still really cheap looking and shitty and Charles Bandish in every way, but somehow he made this one totally not boring. So I like it. I liked Retro Puppet Master, and I didn't think I would.
Yeah,
so.
and we also get to see this is how he meets his wife,
who he later turns into a leech lady.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's upper crust society.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah Douglas doesn't show up in this one. It's too bad. But yeah, it's a due for me on Retro Puppet Master and a due from Jackie, which is no surprise there. Last but not least, all three of us saw this on Stars. Is that where we watched?
It's something.
It's either Stars or HBO Now. I can't remember which one.
I think it was HBO Now.
Okay. 2018 SMABFA contender, Pacific Rim Uprising.
Oh, the only reason I watched this is because there was food in front of me.
I don't want to...
I'm not going to lie. If the food would not have been there, I would not have watched this.
No,
piece
you had
of shit.
to. It's a SMABFA contender.
Yeah, you had to. And I just want to really bring everyone out there listening some sad news. Gypsy Danger does not return in the sequel, and it's heartbreaking to say the least. Because that's all that movie had was like, the first time we're watching the first one, I was like, Gypsy Danger? Well, this is fucking stupid. And so all it had for me was just this really stupid thing. But I guess it does blow up at the end of the first one, so I couldn't really bring it back.
Yeah.
And then they don't have that. It just doesn't. I couldn't even tell you right now what happened in this movie. I already forgot.
Monsters versus robots, and you can't make that fun. What? How? Why do you keep trying?
And the robots are trying to get to the power plant, right?
Well, if you're the guy that can't make robots versus monsters fun, you're doing something wrong. You're not the guy. Stop it. Go do something else.
I can remember what happened in the first one, and it's been 2 years since I've seen it.
Uh-huh.
We watched this last week, and I don't remember anything about it.
No.
Oh, wait, no, they're not trying to get to the power plant. They're trying to get to the volcano.
Yeah, if they blow up a volcano, they blow up the Earth or something.
Or they get superpowers if they get to the volcano, and...
They're monsters. They already have superpowers.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
This was so dumb.
It's
I'm
just-
going to give it a do not.
Nobody can care about these films.
No.
Nobody. You watch one of them and you're like, you know what? I want to see robots versus monsters, but I just saw it and I don't like it.
Yeah, the robots suck.
The robots suck.
And they're not as tough as the monsters, so it's like dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we've built these robots to fight the monsters, only they're not tough enough to do it. So we made a movie about that. Like, what am I watching?
Yeah, stop it with these. We're done. We're over it. This has still got like a 45 Metacritic score. Guys, it's okay to not like movies. Like all of it, because that's what's happening right now with 2018 and to a degree of 2017. Everything's a 5. Like, it's okay if you really like a movie, and it's okay if you really don't like a movie.
Sure.
Not everything is just, it was average.
Yeah.
No, Pacific Rim sucked.
It sucked. It's not a 5.
It's a 2 at best.
The fucking Towering Inferno remake sucked. It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
None of these are 5s. And then the assholes are all in mass like, I'm far too intellectual to enjoy this comedy.
Right.
So all the comedies are 2s.
Right.
And all these bullshit movies are 5s. And it's like, no, the comedy was a 5.
Yeah.
These fucking special effects movies, they're 2s.
Indeed. So stop it. Stop that. Don't want it. Nope. Don't do it. We've got some listener feedback this week. Let's get straight into a voicemail from good listener Jack B, who we need to once again thank because Jack has stepped up his Patreon contribution to our page at patreon.com/stickermadness to the commando level.
We have the commando level?
Yeah, $100 a month Jack is
Jesus.
contributing to us right now. So thank you very much for that, Jack. Merry Christmas to you, and
Merry Christmas indeed.
try to keep your dick in your boxer shorts.
Don't
this
let it fall
Christmas.
I'm going to say super thank you because Winston,
Mm-hmm.
one of our dogs, ate through my my headphones cord
Mm-hmm.
last week during the episode. So thank you because
So
now I can hear.
We're going to buy another one of those.
$100
No.
extension cord.
$3 cord, but we'll get some other stuff.
All right, let's see what Jack has to say. Come on.
Last episode, you guys asked me what you ripped John Peters about way back when you did A Star Is Born.
Good. John Peters,
And
I forgot
since you
about
called
this.
me out by name, you know I just had to do it.
I gave him a
So I went
task.
back
and
and found
completed.
some choice quotes from Sam about him that are quite amazing. These are all verbatim. Quote, you know who John Peters is? He's the guy who had his dick in Barbra Streisand. Unquote.
I said that.
So then
That was
later
me.
on, you're talking about how Kevin Smith was working with Peters on Superman. Quote, according to Smith, Peters had expressed disdain for most of Superman's iconic characteristics by demanding that Superman was never to fly or appear in his trademark costume. He also suggested Sean Penn as being ideal for the role based on his performance as a death row inmate in Dead Man Walking, saying that Penn has the eyes of a caged animal, a fucking killer. Peters then demanded that the third act of the film include a fight between Superman and a giant spider to be an unveiled homage to King Kong. Peters instructed him to include a robot sidekick for Brainiac, a fight scene between Brainiac and two polar bears, and a marketable space dog pet similar to Star Wars character Chewbacca, unquote. So, last quote here. In an interview after Man of Steel, Peter said that, quote, "It was problematic because it wasn't close enough to his heart. He didn't see the human side of Superman, which is flying and wearing a costume that people can fucking recognize as the human side. He's an idiot. The guy's an idiot who fucked Barbara Streisand and fell backwards up a goddamn waterfall of gold." So, he fucked Barbara Streisand and nearly ruined Superman. I'll let you guys decide which is worse. But wait, there's more! So, I googled his name, and apparently there's a lot of shit that's happened since then. So I'm looking at an article here about an interview he gave last year where he says, quote, "I am the Trump of Hollywood."
Oh, no.
I think he means that a lot of people hate him for no reason. At least he thinks for no reason. But that's not what I think when I read that. And I'm sure that's not what you guys think when you hear that. So apparently he was doing an interview, like beginning of 2017. And when the interviewer was actually interviewing him, there was a loaded gun on the coffee table between him and the interviewer, and I don't know why. And now there are at least 5 sexual assault allegations against him. And it appears he's kind of been blacklisted from Hollywood. Sam, you said he was an idiot, but I think now he's just an asshole. A raging asshole.
So yeah, there you go, Sam.
I forgot how much I hated Jump. Thank you for reminding me of that. And I forgot about that Superman business, and I really liked what he said about, like, we need to see the human side of Superman. He's not human, dickface.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. That's what makes Man of Steel a good movie, is it embraces the fact that he's a fucking alien.
Right. Yeah, no, screw John Peters. We don't like him. We've got some listener feedback on our Batman Returns episode, which I was shocked about the aplomb the fervor that we created with Batman Returns. I 100% thought we were going to get hate mail for doing Batman Returns. We didn't. In fact, for one of the first times, somebody on Letterboxd reached out to us personally and said, "Thank you. It's about goddamn time somebody said that movie is shit." So, all right.
Yes. Well, it's shit. It's not good.
Van Diver chirps in. Says, Van Diver says Batman Return contains several references to film and characters from the silent era.
Yeah.
For example, Max Schreck is named after Max Schreck, the German actor who played Count Orlok in F.W. Murnau's 1922 film Nosferatu. Likewise, the design of Walken's character, weird hair included, is based on Rotwang, the scientist from Fritz Lang's 1927 Metropolis.
Yeah.
I thought it was a redo of Robot Chicken.
Okay, I'm reading. As for the Penguin, the look was inspired by Lon Chaney's character in the long-lost silent film London After Midnight from 1927. I have put together some pics to show the similarities below, so if you want to see those, go to our Facebook page and check out our Batman Returns post. They are spot on.
They are.
But
it goes back to illustrating that point we were making during the podcast, though, where it was like, maybe you should make a Batman movie instead.
Indeed. You're making this little cute homage thing, and your homages don't fit into the context that you're putting them in.
Well, not to mention that, the average film viewer, right, is not going to know who somebody is from the 1920s.
Well, not a Batman Returns film viewer, because you know who that was? That was Sam and I. That was 13-year-old kids who had not heard of fucking Lon Chaney at that point in time.
Or Nosferatu.
Well, we knew about, come on. It's Nosferatu. It's kind of
I don't think I got Nosferatu until I was like 16.
All right. Either way, no, Batman Returns is not the place for you to put in your little cutesy stuff, Tim Burton. Save that for your pet projects, Like what's his face does, Del Toro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't put fish people in Hellboy movies, right? There's no fish people in Hellboy movies.
Yeah, there is. It's the same guy, actually.
That's right.
Same actor.
He's one of the main stars of the show.
He was in last week's episode. He's in Batman Returns.
Roman Dower chimes in, says McDonald's was so disgusted at the film that they forced led to a string of events resulting in the cartoony Batman Forever and Robin. So Roman's implying that because McDonald's is such a merchandising heavyweight as far as film and sponsorship and product advertising and in-place advertising, they're like, nope, you got to steer this in a different direction,
Yeah.
guys. And WB did.
Yep.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
I'm gonna watch the other two and see if I like them better than Returns.
You sure you don't want to wait in 2 episodes on them?
Well, I guess that's probably the best way to do it.
Because you're
Maybe
not
that's-
going to ever watch them
Hey,
again after that.
Plus, that would give me an opportunity to make myself a liar about Cemetery Man one more fucking time. If the next 2 movies that I pick are the Batman movies, which it sounds like probably what I'm going to do now.
No. Oh, God. Okay. Also, Brad Harrelson, want to give a shout out to him because I think this is the first time we've heard from Brad. On
Hey.
On our Facebook page.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Brad. As far as the unsexy Michelle Pfeiffer, the last time I watched this one, I kept thinking that Burton was trying to turn her into Helena Bonham Carter, who is basically Tim Burton's go-to gal for.
Was his wife for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so maybe he wasn't trying to turn her into Helen Bonham Carter, the actress. He was trying to turn her into the Bang Maid.
Huh.
No, I don't know. But you know what? That's a really, really good point because if, like, thinking back on it now, that character does embody a lot of Helen Bonham Carter.
Oh,
And
Why-
just her
why-
weird kind of not sexy, but trying to be sexy, maybe stab you in the neck with a sewing needle
okay, all right.
type of woman.
Maybe that's Tim Burton's thing. Maybe he's trying to turn Helena Bonham Carter into Helena Bonham Carter.
Maybe he's got weird sexy time.
He might have weird sexy time and
With a lemon in your dick hole.
and
What?
What?
Never mind. Keep going.
Okay, I don't think we can. I don't think we can go past that anymore,
Past
Jackie.
lemon in your dick
I'm
hole.
retiring from podcasting. Weird. Next month will be a show.
Next month is January.
It's where we're hoping the snow starts to fall, people.
It's a ways out though. So this month,
This month, next week, it will be my pick, and I will be closing out our Christmas movie parade, as it were,
Sure.
with a little-known film, Sam, that you're going to have a lot of trouble finding anything about.
okay.
From Germany, I believe, entitled J'aimerais rencontrer le Père Noël, which would be French. I Believe in Christmas from 1984 will be the film. So I Believe in Santa Claus, sorry.
Huh.
God, I only screwed that up 16 times.
Sure.
I'm the host, right?
So is it subtitled?
Yeah, you've seen I Believe in Santa Claus, Jackie. It is one of the best riff tracks that we've ever seen.
Oh,
And this
yeah.
movie is fucking far out.
So
Okay.
just so is this the first like subtitled movie that we've done? I think this is a first for us.
First foreign film? Maybe. But it's a sight to behold, and I have no choice but to do this because I think it's my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Ah.
So check that out. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. I Believe in Santa Claus. You're not going to want to miss this one. Have a good week. Get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.